Welcome to the public meeting for the I-45 North, Beltway 8 North to Loop 336 South in Conroe Planning and Environmental Linkages Study, also known as a PEL study. This is the second of a series of public meetings that are being held as the study progresses. Today, you'll have the opportunity to learn more about the work that's taken place so far and provide feedback. Several team members are available to answer any questions you may have. TxDOT is evaluating a 24-mile section of I-45 North extending from Beltway 8 North in Houston to Loop 336 South in Conroe. I-45 North connects several communities and is an important link for commuters and freight traffic. So what is a PEL? A PEL study is a high-level approach to transportation decision-making. Goals for the environment, community, and economy are considered early in the planning stages and carried through to project development, design, and construction. This high-level PEL study sets a vision for the I-45 North corridor and helps to streamline future projects. It serves to identify key environmental resource issues and finally promotes efficient and cost-effective solutions. Communication and collaboration are key to a successful study. Coordination with agencies, stakeholders, and the public is essential through each step of the study. I-45 is an important route for communities within the Houston area and also provides a link to Dallas and the rest of the country. As the population and economy in the Houston area continue to grow, it's important to establish a plan for addressing growing traffic congestion and increasing crashes. The PEL study will provide viable solutions to address the needs for improvements in mobility, safety, and system connectivity within the I-45 North corridor. How is a PEL study conducted? We're in the middle of a multi-step process. Earlier in the PEL study, we evaluated the corridor to identify deficiencies and establish goals for the future. This served as the basis to brainstorm and identify possible solutions that we're presenting to you today to gather your feedback. Using your input, we will evaluate and refine these alternatives to determine which ones best address corridor deficiencies and advance corridor goals. The I-45 North PEL study started in the spring of 2017. Today, we're presenting the universe of alternatives and preliminary fatal flaw analysis, which we'll describe in greater detail in a moment. More public meetings like this one will be held as the study progresses. The final recommendations will be identified at the end of the PEL study in the spring of 2021. To achieve the goals and meet the needs of the I-45 North corridor, many options are available, too many to actually implement. A two-level screening process helps us to move from all possible alternatives, also known as the universe of alternatives, down to a narrower list of reasonable alternatives. At the end of the screening, we'll arrive at the recommended alternatives that will move forward to environmental review and construction. This alternative screening process begins with a universe of alternatives. Ideas for these possible alternatives came from the public, the study team, various agencies, and local governments and elected officials. Not all of the ideas in the universe of alternatives will be recommended to advance. For example, some may be inefficient in meeting the corridor's needs, unsuited to the environment, or inconsistent with existing plans. For this reason, a fatal flaw analysis is carried out to reduce the number of alternatives to those most likely to be successful. A key element needed to complete the fatal flaw analysis is your input on which of these alternatives you support or oppose for the corridor. Please take your time reviewing the public meeting boards about these alternatives and submitting your input for inclusion in the fatal flaw analysis. After analyzing the fatal flaw analysis, we'll begin the technical screening to identify and recommend the most viable alternatives to support the I-45 North corridor. We are now in the universe of alternatives portion of the study, gathering the last pieces of information for the fatal flaw analysis. The information boards at this public meeting provide further detail about the alternatives identified in the universe of alternatives. The alternatives fall into 5 categories: roadway and technology improvements in the existing corridor, improvement of parallel routes, adding lanes to I-45 North, high-capacity transit, and multimodal improvements. The study team will also consider the no-build alternative. The fatal flaw analysis will reduce the number of possible solutions based on several criteria. For alternatives to advance, they must fit the corridor's purpose and need. The fatal flaw analysis also considers how well these solutions would integrate with the existing built and natural environment, as well as with current transportation plans. Finally, for an alternative to advance, it must gain public acceptance, which is why your input today or online after the meeting is so important. Project team members are here today to answer your questions and discuss the progress of the study. Your comments and feedback are an important part of the study. Stop at our interactive board and the survey station to provide your input on the alternatives. You can also complete the survey at home by going to www.TxDOT.gov and searching for the keywords I-45N PEL. Please fill out the comment card you received as you came in to provide additional feedback. We want to hear from you. To stay involved in the I-45 North PEL study, please visit our project website where you can find out about public participation opportunities, take the online survey, submit comments online, and access the PEL study documents. You can also contact the TxDOT project manager, Cesar Martinez. We look forward to seeing you again at future public meetings. Thanks for attending today's meeting.